before about Apple products, iPhones, laptops, etc. These factories in China that these conditions that they work in weren't good before what's happened in the last couple of years, right? And since these outbreaks in China, they have the zero COVID policy and they're putting on lockdown. Well, a lot of people are starved to death. There's videos I've seen where people are jumped trying to flee. But here's a video of the latest Apple's largest iPhone factory when somebody came up positive. Everybody tried to flee. So we'll watch the video for a few seconds, then we'll get into the comments. So you can see right here. And later they'll say it's just a few, but this is not just a few. Right there is about 20. Another 20. We're looking at maybe 100 some people right there. And that's the major problem right here. The inadequate food supplies. And even in the Philippines, if you're going to lock somebody down, tell them to stay at home, you give them food. And they did a little bit of that here. Quite a few other places in America, they had the stimulus packages, right? But they don't do that there in China. They don't have that kind of resources or management. And what's happened is word gets out. People already know, hey, from their social media, through the word of voice, they no longer trust their government, so they fled. Restrictions are ordered to ramp up production. So that's another thing, too. So not only did they want to restrict them, they couldn't leave the factory. They're making them live there. They wanted them to sleep there. But there wasn't any food there for them. There wasn't enough for them to live off of. And it's poor health conditions. There's no telling what kind of beds they're sleeping on, whether they're sleeping on cardboard, the ground. It's just not a good idea to stay and live at a factory. But this is a very common practice even before this outbreak that's been going on in China. Some workers voiced their frustration, the poor living conditions that we were talking about. So apparently there is a campus there. I don't know why anybody would want to live on their own factory. That's not a good idea. So they got to not only flee the factory, but they got to go past all the checkpoints to try to get home. They got to home, family, whatever it is they're trying to flee to. They just want to get out of there. See, the company is always going to lie, especially from China. If there were health and safety measures for the employees, if they were stable, the employees wouldn't have left. So now they're going to try to say that they're going to have enough food for the ones that stayed. I don't know if that's going to be true or not. You hope it is. I don't know what they're spraying over there, some kind of water cannon, try to prevent people from jumping over the wall. It's just shameful. The company pledged to arrange a bus services for those wishing to leave. But you know, the company always reports to China. So you can see everybody here, they're just not going to tolerate it. They don't want to live in those kind of conditions. So this policy of theirs that Xi's been doing, it's a complete failure, and it hurts more people than it helps. You're making things worse than the virus that was going around, and it's a shame. It's got to stop, man. The human rights violations got to stop in China. The CCP's got to wake up. They got to do better. If they want other countries to respect them, they're going to have to respect their own citizens. And they got to stop asking citizens to respect them at the same time while starving them. It just has to stop, man.